Scowled. Having audio issues? Or is it just quiet? It was just quiet. Okay. Alright, I gotta get the thingamies list. Bum, 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 bum,
Anna
bum.
was training to be a veterinarian when the war
Ah.
began. The Germans were only 20 miles from Paris when she received a letter from her father. He was in good health, but implored her not to return home to Belgium until the war's end. Patience, however, was not one of Anna's strong suits.
Hmm. Hold on. It's gonna take me a minute because I was not expecting this to be arranged where it is. You're joking. You're joking, man. Okay, it's gonna take longer because I did not bookmark something. My freaking apologies. Okay. Good God. Inkwell. Ballpoint pens were not developed until the 1950s to 1960s, so soldiers used a quill nib to write letters. Ink was poured into an inkwell, into which, in order to provide enough ink, the quill or nib had to be dipped regularly. Dip, 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 dip. Letter from a Belgian civilian in Paris. Dear parents, we fled our land before the German advance to take shelter in France with the children. Fortunately, the Germans kept coming forward and Paris is practically under siege. If Paris falls, we shall return home to Liege. Your dear daughter, Mathilde. Broken watch strap. A watch strap broken by a motor crank handle. Before battery ignition was developed, motor cars were started by cranking a handle. As the engine sparked into life, the operator had to let go of the handle smartly, because the crank handle, now propelled by the engine, could cause a nasty accident. Newspapers. The main source of information was the newspaper. Radios were in their early days based on tube technology, and television did not exist. On top of local and national news, a new section appeared in the newspapers dedicated to the events on the front. Some newspapers also published daily listings of POWs and war dead. Really? Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. Okay, I see.
Allez, courage. Pas mieux.
I was not expecting that style of minigame. She just straight up GTA's the shit. Oh, come on.
September 7th, 1914. Taxis drove all night. Anna was proud to help the soldiers reach the front line. When Anna arrived at her destination, she discovered the horrible truth with her own eyes.
The hecatomb. The first 3 months of the war saw especially heavy losses. August 22nd, 1914 was the bloodiest day of the whole war, with heavy casualties. Numbers of wounded were far greater than had been anticipated, and the military health services struggled to cope with the scale of the conflict. Nurses. Nurses were the angels of the Great War, and were generally volunteers recruited by the Red Cross, the Army or the American ambulances. They worked long, grueling shifts in hospitals both at the front and behind the lines. They played the role of carers, mothers, and confidants. They often feature in soldiers' memoirs and were sometimes their sole companion in death. The majority were demobilized at the end of hostilities.
Non, 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 non. Vas-y. Ok. Voilà. Courage, Nemo. Va mieux? Voilà, c'est bien. Allez, courage.
Dieu vous bénisse, Valiant.
7 months went by. Driven by compassion, Anna devoted herself, body and soul, to healing the wounded and the sick. Every life saved was another small victory over the war. The conflict, however, raged on.
Shrapnel shell remnants. Shrapnel shell remnants, a shell containing lead bullets. Depending on its settings, the shell might explode on contact with the ground, sending its contents flying, or in the air for even more destructive results.
Contalo. Ragazzi, ve l'attacca al trimoire. Ehi, montre-lui-moi.
Non, 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 non. Eh, oh, vas-y. Ah, non, 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 non. Lâche-toi. Non.
Back and forth, back and forth. Oh my god.
Voilà. Allez, courage.
Dieu vous bénisse, madame.
Tallow socks. Socks soaked in refined tallow and coated with formal. The most effective way to beat the cold and damp, frostbite, and other ailments. That, at least, was what the adverts had people believe. However effective the socks were, the soldier's best friend was always a nice dry pair. Nurse's Manual. The war effort suddenly required a larger medical corps, and there were not enough qualified personnel. The manuals were published and distributed to help volunteers train. The manuals provided a whole host of practical solutions to logistical and medical problems at the front, such as how to make a splint or stretcher using rifles and their straps.
Ah, petit bain.
Mess tin with holes. Both dishes of this mess tin have holes in them. Not hugely practical for eating, perhaps, but life-saving for one soldier. The mess tin bag was worn at kidney height. When the shell exploded, this mess tin slowed down the searing hot shrapnel in flight, which, although it wounded the soldier, helped him live another day. Mess tins were blackened using smoke to prevent them glinting in the sunlight. Letter from a Prussian soldier, 6 September 1914. My dear daughter, we are making headway through the French countryside. The landscape is beautiful. I'd much rather be enjoying it with you than killing people. I think of you all the time. Your father, Wolfgang. Look! More sleeping people! Okay, I need to check the farthest right of the level, because supposedly there's another item there. Even though, you know, that's full. There actually was. Lice comb. Oh, nice. In their journals, soldiers often recount their losing war against lice and rats in the trenches. Apart from the lice powder, the only other prevention against lice was this fine-toothed metal comb. Often, when soldiers took leave behind the lines, they were scrubbed down with hot water, their clothing boiled, or a new uniform issued. Oh. First use of the Y.
Allez, courage. Courage, Hugo. Voilà.
The French officers were talking about Belgium. The German army was about to experiment with a new weapon near Ypres, Anna's hometown.
Ypres?
Anna got en route to warn her father about the imminent danger. Reaching the outskirts of the city, Anna was greeted by the screams of sirens. The deadly gas was already here.
Ypres, a town in ruins. Dubbed Wipers by British troops due to its difficult pronunciation, the Belgian town of Ypres was a key strategic position during the war. A hub for road, rail, and canal networks, it became the target for sustained bombing in 1914. In 1915, the Germans even used chemical warfare on the town. By the end of the war, the majestic cathedral and town center were nothing but ruins. Technology at work. In the wake of the technological advances of the early 20th century, the vast scope of this industrialized war, that might be an improper spelling of industrialized, war brought developments in all fields: aircraft, submarines, dirigibles, and tanks. Great progress was made in the fields of medicine, surgery, medical hygiene, and radiology thanks to Marie Curie's work, who took thousands of x-rays of wounded. Outside to the left, item in the rubble. Good guide. I'm wondering if I missed it. Where is there even anything left to grab? There's literally nothing to interact with. Alright, I'm gonna use a hint. Okay. I guess I have to do that first. I also didn't see the gear up there. Yeah, that's not really a hint at this point. That's all I got. That's all I got. There's nothing else to interact with. I'm stumped. Oh. Okay. Letter from a Scottish soldier. 19 April 1915. Hello, pal. I'm in the town of Ypres, Belgium, a pretty wee town that must have been broad before the war. Beer too in bad. Or the beer too in a bad. I'd much rather be downing ale with you, though, boy. I'm off to the front in 2 days. Take care of yourself and say how do to the family. Don McCormack. Oh, attack window, right. Oh, she's actually dead? It's been minutes. Holy crap. Wooden top. Wooden top with string, a common toy of the age. During the war, toys gradually became more war-based. Through board games, children could fight out famous battles while other items ridiculed the enemy. After the war, toys and games became more pacifist once more. Supposedly there's... I have to ring the bell! Reset his leg. Broken walking stick. The knob is all that remains of this walking stick. The stick has been carefully sculpted, a souvenir of the trenches. Unfortunately, a broken walking stick is of no use to anyone. Wrong. It can be taught. It can be used to teach history. Boom. It just now has a use. Go check out the other townspeople. I thought there was somebody looking for his dad. Maybe that was the previous chapter? And my jaw popped. Ow. Pretending to be a ghost? Bedpan. Oh, why would you take this? Latrines were generally housed outside in the yard in homes of all social classes. So during the night, bedpans were used. In well-to-do households, servants were charged with emptying the pan. Wouldn't that be a fun job? There we go. Wait a second. Two, 6. One, 4, 2, 6. 2, 6, 1, 4. How do I even... Yeah, that's what I just got. Real helpful, guys. I'm looking on how to unlock the gate. So, no secret passage controlled by the clock. Do I go out the window? Big enough. Okay. That I actually hit the attack button by accident. I was trying to jump down. Okay, point noted. Attack things if you can't figure them out. Stereoscopic camera. A camera that captures two simultaneous images on glass plates, enabling relief images. Use of the camera was relatively widespread because the device was small and readily transportable. Wait, 142638. 248? Four, 6, 8. Ah, her dad's workplace. Chemical formula. 2C12 plus 2H2O equals 4HC1 plus O2. This formula is the description of what happens to soldiers' lungs when they inhale chlorine gas. Chlorine gas reacts with the water in the lungs to produce hydrochloric acid, creating horrendous burns. I did not know that. I did not know that is how that shit worked. So CL, is that... Wait, what's CL? That's fucked up, man. I know what I must do. Well, you better get moving and stop watching the cutscene then. Here we are playing friggin' DDR with a controller.
Voilà, Sia.
The governess revealed to her that her father, an eminent scientist, had been kidnapped by Baron von Dorf, who was eager to use scientific advances in warfare. Anna set out in pursuit of the Baron and encountered Emilia and Freddy. Destiny brought them together. They had survived the enemy's wrath, their gunfire, bombardments, gas attacks. Now, with her father within reach, Anna wasn't going to let him slip away.
Stop maintenant! Encore, vous avez fini là-bas! Oh! Hey!
Life and death of the Zeppelin. The Zeppelin was effective at the start of the war, and in 1915, London suffered over 50 Zeppelin raids before the Royal Naval Air Service intervened. The craft's weak spot was obviously its hydrogen-filled balloon. Hydrogen is lighter than air, hence its value to aviation. However, it is also highly flammable, and the slightest spark sent the craft plummeting spectacularly groundward in a ball of flames. Of the 92 craft used during the war, 68 were destroyed. Facial disfiguration. By 1918, there were 20 million war wounded, all countries included. Roughly 70% of injuries came from shrapnel and only 1% from bayonets. Facial injuries could result in having a jaw, nose, or eyes removed, but the progress in surgery saved and patched up many victims of facial disfigurement and amputation, which there were 200,000 post-war. Jesus, man. Virgin Mary statuette and case. A case containing a statuette of the Virgin Mary. Another example of trench art. To overcome their boredom, soldiers would set to work transforming anything that came to hand. Unexploded ammunition, empty cartridges, and shell debris were all turned into day-to-day items and put to a more pacifist use.
Hey! Encore, vous avez fini là-bas! Danke.
Albert!
Ik weigerte Asta dabei.
Hey! Ach du blöd. Jetzt.
What?
Letter from a soldier. Reims, 14th June 1915. Dear Emma, we are on retreat. Our position is untenable. Don't worry, I'm still in good health. We are going to leave Reims to the enemy. Reims is a beautiful city. I hope all is well at home. You are taking good care of our parents. Hope the prisoners are working properly for you. See you soon, Siegfried. Yeah, you come back over here.
What? Hey! What? What? Viens là! Push!
Broken pistol. A broken P08 pistol designed for German artillerymen. The P means parabellum, which refers to its 9mm ammunition. The word parabellum comes from the Latin si vis pacem, parabellum. If you want peace, get ready for war.
C'est bien. Oui, bon chien.
Dart. These darts were dropped onto trenches from zeppelins or aircraft. Due to the velocity on impact, their heavy tips were capable of piercing through anything between them and the ground, including helmets and soldiers' skulls. I did not know about that weapon. I have to go back to the left, possibly.
Hey, oh! Hey!
Nope, okay.
What? Hey, oh! Allez! Hey!
What is she doing?
What? Va chercher. Hey, oh! Vas-y, Wal.
Did it glitch? Oh my god. He's still acting like he's trapped. Alright, goodbye. I do not have the ability to heal him.
Hey! Wal! Hey, oh! Hey! Hey, oh! Hey! Wal!
Yeah, it's still telling me to drag him with the dog. I have to quit and go back in here. Fantastic glitch. Fantastic progress breaking glitch. I can't save. I cannot manually save. I have no choice.
Destiny brought them together. They had survived the enemy's wrath,
Yep.
their gunfire.
I have to do that whole thing again. At least I should still have the collectibles.
Now with her father with
Yes, okay. I just have to free him again. Okay.
Wal!
Bull crap.
Hey! Le goal de bienvenue, Rambo!
Hé, oh. Non, 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 non. Vas-y. Allez, courage.
Oh, mais...
Va mieux. Courage, Nemo. Voilà, Sia. Voilà. Allez, courage. Va mieux. Courage, Nemo. Voilà, Sia. Voilà.
Danke.
Albert!
Ik weigerte.
Hey! Arthur! Bleu! Jetzt!
Hans Glitcherman.
Wal, va. Eh oh, viens là. Bon chien. Hey, va chercher.
Okay, it didn't glitch this time. So yeah, that in fact was a glitch. Nice bug that never got fixed.
Voilà, Sia. Courage, Nemo. Allez. Voilà. Va mieux. Allez, courage.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Second. Ah. Ah.
What? Allez.
Shell mechanism. The nose cones of shells were not systematically destroyed, and they were much sought after by soldiers because they contained large quantities of metal that could be recycled to make rings or pendants.
Whoa. Get away, boy. Whoa. Whoa.
How do I...
Whoa. Shoot, go.
Sterilizing solution. Soldiers drew water directly from rivers and streams, but because of the rats and decomposing corpses, river and stream water brought a major threat of disease. Soldiers used a variety of products to disinfect water before drinking it, but the best solution was to boil it up.
What? Hey. Oh, good boy. Hey, whoa. Whoa.
Okay, so I can't blow that up.
Whoa. Go now.
Okay. Well, Freddy, get your ass over here. Okay. I'm lost.
What? Allez, vas-y.
I guess that was the solution after all.
Hey, walk, go, get out of here. Whoa, get away, boy.
Oh, poor puppy.
Merci, mon ami.
Oh, I get it. I have to use it as a battering ram. Maybe? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
What?
Ça va aller. Émile? Non!
Victory had a bittersweet taste for Anna. Carl, seriously wounded, had been sent to a POW camp. Anna's father had disappeared with Baron von Dorf, and Emil was court-martialed for desertion. Cited for his bravery in Reims, Emil was fortunately pardoned and set free to go back to the front. February 21st, 1916. Winter had descended on the front. After joining back up with the army, Emil and Freddy were stationed near Verdun, suffering like many others from the harsh winter. That morning, the arrival of the mail raised spirits, but Marie's letter did not bring good news. In Saint-Miel, food was scarce, disease was rife, and the number of dead was growing. Out of this grim news, however, there was one ray of light. A photo of his grandson, Victor, standing on both feet and learning to walk.
Elämänlo! Turvallisin moukari paljon niitä tuohon.
Don't worry.
Feeding soldiers at the front. Supplying millions of men at the front with enough food was a logistical nightmare. The diet was mainly composed of bread, rice, soup, and sometimes meat and dried vegetables. Food parcels from home were ambrosia for the troops. British soldiers had a ration of a pint of wine and a third of a pint of rum every day. One of soldiers' fatigue duties was to go behind the lines with containers to fetch their company's rations. Sometimes food did not reach the front line, and infantrymen could go without food and drink for several days. Yeah. A couple days of that, and I wouldn't be moving. I'd be heading back to get the damn food and bring it myself. "18 months later. Over 18 months of combat, the front barely moved. As each side dug in and tried to claw back enemies' positions, okay. I enunciated that wrong. The War of Attrition turned 1915 into the bloodiest year, and civilians became hugely affected too. By late 1915, shortfalls in human and food resources began to make themselves felt. Shortfalls in human and food resources began to make themselves felt, while ammunition shortages were especially problematic. Yeah, there's a problem with that text there. Barbed wire. Invented in 1874, barbed wire was already a common feature of trench protection in battle. But the Great War's onus on trench warfare, it became widespread. Thousands of tons were deposited in no man's land. Both sides sought tools and strategies to overcome barbed wire, such as grappling irons and wire cutters. Intensive bombardment was deemed to be the most effective method, and the tactic became widespread. Dead soldiers putrefying on barbed wire remains one of the enduring images of the war, a powerful symbol of its violence. Verdun. Triggered by the Germans at dawn, February 21st, in the aim of penetrating Allied lines, the battle eventually lasted 300 days. Some key positions changed hands several times before the French finally prevailed. The battle produced the highest concentration of casualties, with 600,000 killed over 61 square miles, i.e., one death for every 311 square yards. Military decorations. Britain had 6 war medals, the most issued of which were the British War Medal, the Victory Medal, the 1914-15 Star, and the 1914 Star. 6.6 million British War Medals were issued. 5.7 Victory Medals, 2 million 1914-15 Stars, and 365,000 1914 Stars. A combination of the Star, Victory Medal, and War Medal was fairly commonplace. Over 2.5 million trios were issued, and earned the nickname Pip, Squeak, and Wilfred, after the popular cartoon characters in the Daily Mirror, a dog, a penguin, and a rabbit, respectively. Why are they kissing? Okay. Sure. Tobacco case. Tobacco case made from shell casing. Empty munitions were often recycled. Some exploded shell materials were already aesthetically interesting. Otherwise, soldiers would rework their funds to create handy items. Tobacco is precious, so soldiers were eager to keep it dry. Many accounts from the trenches express soldiers' appreciation of the Christmas cigar, a special festive treat for the troops.
Don't know if you've got issue does.
Card game. Days in the trenches were long, and to overcome their boredom, soldiers would play cards, read, write, and create objects from materials they found. The Germans played scat, the French manila, and the Allies brag on pontoon, amongst others. I can't throw it.
Faut pas nous piler.
Never be able to thank Anna enough for saving Carl after the Zeppelin crash. Knowing that he's no longer at the front and that he is a POW has put my mind at rest, so I'm relieved he's safe from harm. I hope Marie is doing okay in St. Mihiel despite the German occupation. How much luck can a guy have? There's this huge cathedral here. Makes me think of you. They sent me back to the army. It's not going to make my search any easier. The situation is horrific here. Yesterday I was in my warm, cozy apartment, and now I'm in the depths of hell. There are so many dead, so many young lives lost. I managed to save one soldier this morning, but there are so many others to tend to. Tomorrow I'll try to get closer to the front so I can help those most in need. Another endless day. For every life saved, there are so many lost. Those poor young men. Mutilated, disfigured for life. I cannot abandon them, even if all I can do is hold their hands as they slip away. Father has been captured by a German regiment and taken away in a Zeppelin. He who's so scared of heights. They probably know about his research. Please, Father, don't try to be a hero. Work for them. I don't want to lose you. I'm on his trail, and these two soldiers I met are after the Zeppelin as well. I was so frightened when I saw the Zeppelin crash today. Fortunately, Father wasn't on board because the Baron had already taken him away by aircraft. I managed to save Emil's son-in-law before they sent him to a POW camp. His legs were in a critical state. I'll be going with him to make sure he's alright. As he grows, Victor reminds me more and more of Carl. Not a day goes by without me thinking of him. The Germans are requisitioning all our crops. There must be food shortages in Germany. I managed to hide some for next winter. Can't wait for the stupid war to end. What the? Whoa. Okay. Okay. That was trippy looking. Okay. Okay. I see the blade going through now. That. That just went behind him and disappeared.
Pas de brignol potol, bigorno. What?
My dearest daughter, I heard from Carl. His condition is stable. He is still in the prisoner camp south of Reims. I hope to finally get permission to visit him. Thank you for the photo. It means so much to me.
Brazier. A helmet with holes in it, filled with coal and wood and used as a brazier. The item would have afforded some protection from the cold. Although helmets were made of metal, they only offered scant protection from bullets. Crap. Looked away for 1 second. Oh. Ah, bull crap. Boot the reboot. Officer's whistle. Officers were issued with whistles to signal the soldiers when to charge. The sound of the whistle became synonymous with the journey into the unknown. Soldiers surged out of the trenches and into no man's land. There is an achievement for getting through this without any of your guys dying. What? What am I trying to do here? I don't understand. Okay. Letter from a Tunisian soldier, 21 February 1916. Dear father, dear family, I am cold. The land we are defending is frozen and covered in snow. The ground is so iced up, it is harder than rock. We cannot dig. The cold is so intense that my hands are burning. I hope everything's fine back in the village and you're still receiving half my pay. Tell me if you aren't. Ahmed. Okay. Need to see what the next one is. I don't know, maybe this isn't the spot. Like, you got two hands. You got a belt. Why can't you carry more stuff? Oh. You better all be alive. Oh. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I didn't see it. Colored pennant. Although Morse code was already operational, due to technical problems, telephone communications were unreliable. Age-old techniques were used, such as drums, bugles, and colored pennants. November 11, 1918, at 11 a.m., the end of the war was marked by a clarion call. Yep, good lever pull. Okay. Got some sort of lever. Okay, so I can't go that way any further. Trees to the right. the windmill. Wow, that changed size. Where was that hidden? Windmill. Windmill. Here? But that was trees. I don't... Ready, you're gonna have to give me better directions. Do I shoot the windmill? Okay, to the right of the windmill. North. Oh. Right of the windmill, north of the trees. Ah, okay.
Emil's precision cannon firing enabled Freddy and his regiment to reach the rear line unharmed.
Precision.
Bravo, Freddy! Here. Thank you very much, my friend.
The military hierarchy heard of their feats in battle and decided to decorate the two friends for their bravery. Emil received good news from Anna. Carl was recovering nicely. He was even walking again. Meanwhile, the battle for Verdun only grew longer and bloodier. The death toll was staggering, 70,000 per month. Almost one Frenchman and one German every minute, and it went on for 10 months, day and night. May 8th, 1916, Emil's squad was sent on a mission to take back Fort Douaumont, a strategic point in the German defense.
Trench shovel. The French Army trench shovel. The shovel is too short to be of any real use digging trenches or tunnels. However, French soldiers sharpen the tool's blade to turn it into a weapon more effective than a bayonet. Yep.
Halt! Hey, was? Na, Stillstand!
Was ist denn? Nimmer. Hallo, was ist da? Was ist da? Was ist denn? Nimmer. Hallo, was?
Concert program. A concert from a program behind the lines where entertainment was laid on for troops as in civilian life. Theaters and cinemas were set up to boost troops' morale. There were also brothels that were regulated to prevent the spread of sexually transmitted diseases.
Was ist da? Hallo.
Flamethrowers. The Germans were the first to use flamethrowers in an assault on previously held position in July 1915. Although the attack was expected, the use of the weapon came as a surprise, and it caused a large number of casualties. Its psychological impact was huge, but British troops soon learned to cope with the slow-moving operatives, lugging heavy equipment, and did not adopt the weapon themselves. Fort Douaumont was one of the symbols of the Battle of Verdun and was exploited by both camps for propaganda purposes. The Germans seized the fort in February 1916 before it was seized back by the Allies in October 1916 with heavy losses. In the meantime, the fort was damaged by a huge explosion which killed almost 800 Germans inside. Rather than the work of some valiant heart, the explosion was caused by a neglected stove. The ensuing fire spread to the petrol and ammunition supplies. Empty wooden chest. An empty wooden chest used as luggage by a German soldier. Suitcases were not widespread, and poorer soldiers left for war with their affairs in a knapsack or in wooden crates.
What?
My God.
What? What? Hey, what?
Oh, I'm gonna shit a brick.
What? What? Huh? What? Take him up. What? Hey, what? 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 Take him up. Yep. What? Hey, what? Take him up. What?
Um. Oh. Clicky clicky goes the brain.
right. Allez. Thank you, bro. Oh, shoot. Whoa. Oh, good boy. Hey, whoa. Whoa. Get it. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, come on. I was right there. I thought Freddy was a tough guy, able to fight one-on-one, but damn. I thought it was hidden behind the block.
Hey, whoa. Whoa. Go, get out of here. Don't touch that.
rovende Hansen, ja.
German ring. An iron ring bearing the inscription Gold gab ich für ihr Eisen. Offered in exchange for some precious item as part of a program to finance the German war effort. Gas stove. A gas stove for warming food or heating a room. Not always the most practical heating appliance to use when trying to heat a flamethrower fuel depot. On SOB again. Run, Freddy! I see. Come on, Freddy. You can do it.
Go now.
Vorwärts, Sauhaufen! Kein Pardon! Los, 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 los!
Hey, Wolf, go, get out.
Kavime! Nach der Wurzel! Knippern die Wurzeln! Schwupp ab, dann
I pressed A to grab the lever, and he just stood there. Yeah. Blueprint. The blueprint for Anna's father's latest invention, a four-stroke engine. That's quite some machine. What on earth is it?
Despite the fort's partial destruction, the Germans held their position. The mission was a failure.
My darling, war has taken away a very dear friend. He was like a brother to me, and his death affects me much more than I could imagine. In happier news, Carl is safe from the trenches, and his condition improves steadily. I'll go and see him on my next leave. And what about you? How are you? Are things in Saint Miel any better?
Carl discovered things were not, in fact, any better. According to Marie's last letter, his son had fallen gravely ill. Carl had come to a decision. This war would never end. He had to escape.
Button.
Victor is 1 year old today. My God, I miss him. How long is this war gonna last? If only they could assign me to Saint Mihiel. The Germans are still holding the town. I've been stuck here in this POW camp south of Reims for 11 months now. My health is picking up and I'm even walking again at last. All thanks to Anna. Marie's last letter worried me. Victor is very sick and they don't have the resources to take care of him in Saint Mihiel. I must get out of here. Victor is sick. He hasn't eaten in 3 days. He's all pale and weak. He needs meat, but I have nothing left to give him. I hope he improves soon. Carl's last letter reassured me. Walk again. There's a nurse taking special care of him at the POW camp. He'll save my skin again today. What a deluge of shells. I gotta write to my younger brother. He's worried about me. This morning, shells came raining down on our sector. Freddy was out in front and was lucky to pull through. I had to play cannon boy to dig him out of there. I was awarded a medal, but I'd much preferred a leave of absence. I hope Carl's okay. Such a relief to receive Marie's last letter. Sad day today. Freddy and Walt perished. May their souls rest in peace. Am I the only one that sees that? No. Right? Look at his arm. Black spot, no black spot. Black spot, no black spot. Black spot, no black spot. What? Life in prisoner of war camps. Even in captivity, class differences still counted. Some camps were reserved for officers and others for foot soldiers. Prisoners were generally underfed. Underfed? Even more so if the local population was also undernourished. Prisoners of war replaced civilians at the front and were forced to work in munitions factories, on farms, or down mines. Well, on that happy note, I think it's time I streamed something else. We got probably 3 more streams of this game left at least. One for each chapter and then one for, achievement hunting. Yeah. Story's pretty good, actually. Alright, ciao for now.